The great pines were a forest of giants. Ira the bear cub felt like a tiny dusting of snow beneath the ancient trees. She watched as Elgar the moose crashed through the thickest brush, snapping heavy branches with his massive antlers as if they were dry twigs. I wish I were strong enough to move the forest, Ira sighed. Later that afternoon, Ira found a heavy, frozen log blocking the path to the berry bushes. She planted her paws and pushed with all her might. She huffed and puffed until her breath turned into a thick cloud, but the log didn't move an inch. She slumped down in the snow, her small shoulders drooping. As the sun began to dip, a long, low sound rolled through the valley. High on a jagged cliff, Ulrich the wolf tilted his head back and let out a howl that seemed to shake the moon. Ira took a deep breath and tried to howl too, but only a tiny, high-pitched squeak came out. It was lost in the rustle of the pine needles. Ira trudged back to the cave where Orsa was waiting. "Mama," Ira whispered, her voice heavy with sadness. "The forest is too big, and I am too small. Elgar is strong, and Ulrich is loud, but I am just nothing. I don't think I matter at all." Orsa didn't say a word at first. She simply nuzzled Ira's ear and stood up. "Come with me, little one," she rumbled softly. Orsa led Ira away from the cave and up the winding rocky trail that climbed toward the highest point in the woods, the star-peering ridge. When they reached the top, the world felt vast and endless. The sky was a blanket of black velvet, sprinkled with thousands of shimmering diamonds. Ira looked up, dazzled by the bright, flickering lights. Orsa sat down and pulled Ira close against her side to keep her warm. Orsa pointed a large, steady paw toward the horizon. "Look at the brightest stars, Ira," she said. "They are grand and beautiful, like the sun's own brothers. But now, look closer. Do you see that tiny, blinking speck right there? The one that looks like a grain of sand?" "That is the North Star," Orsa explained. "It is not the biggest, and it is certainly not the loudest. But it is the one the travelers watch when they are lost in the dark. It stays steady and true. Without its tiny, quiet light, many wanderers would never find their way home." On their way back down the ridge, Ira heard a frantic chirping. She found Pip, a tiny sparrow, trapped in a deep drift of snow, his wings shivering. Ira didn't need to be as strong as a moose or as loud as a wolf. She gently cupped Pip in her paws and breathed her warmth onto him until his shivering stopped and he could fly again. "You see?" Orsa whispered as they reached the safety of their cave. "A small light can save a traveler. A small warmth can save a friend. You are a small bear, Ira, but your heart is a great sun." Ira curled up in the moss, finally feeling as important as the biggest tree in the woods.